It's no secret that this is the busiest time of the year for most businesses. Black Friday and Cyber Monday, with Christmas right around the corner, it's wild. And for business owners, it can be stressful as hell. It is so critical to have the tools in place to keep your business on track during the busiest time of year. A crash point of sale system or inaccurate inventory could be devastating. You need to make sure you're ready for whatever comes your way during the busiest weekend of the year, and that is why you need Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their first Black Friday Cyber Monday this year. And Shopify doesn't just do sales. They have thousands of website templates and tools to help make creating a sharp and functional website as easy as possible. Their marketing tools will help you and your business stand out in the chaos that is holiday advertising. Their expedited checkout Shop Pay has been proven to boost conversions, which means less abandoned carts and more profits. And it's all backed up by Shopify's award-winning 24/7 support team. If you want to give your customers the best experience possible this holiday season, you need Shopify. This Black Friday, join the thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/RTG. That's shopify.com/RTG. Go to shopify.com/RTG and make this Black Friday one to remember. That's as long as the opening track to this game goes. This fucking game. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Remember the Game. It is my retro gaming podcast where every week a buddy of mine and I sit down and we geek out about the games we played back in the day. My name is Adam Black. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And this week it is episode 355. It's one of our prestigious Patreon poll winning episodes. Now, the theme for this poll was short games because I ran it while I was trying to finish both Fire Emblem and Grand Theft Auto 5. And I was like, I need something that I can beat in 3 hours or less that I could talk about. And the Patreons ended up voting for a game that you can beat in about 3 minutes or less. Maybe not that short, but pretty fucking short. Jaws for the NES took the poll down. I was a little surprised that this won the poll because I didn't realize anybody other than me played it as a kid. Like, there were other games on the poll, like Road Rash, WWF SmackDown 2 was on there. There were some other good, fun, short games that I know that people have played. I didn't realize anyone else played Jaws. My brother Josh and I used to rent this game all the time when we were kids, despite having never seen any of the Jaws movies, because it's just sharks. Sharks, man. Like, they put a spell on you. Everybody loves a shark. So we used to love to play this game, even though we could never beat it. It really is a pretty shallow experience, no pun intended. And yeah, sure, it's not that good. But you know what? By NES movie, like licensed movie game standards, Jaws is not that bad. It's surprisingly playable, at least, and a little bit of a guilty pleasure game for me on the NES. And something now that I own a physical, I bought a copy for my collection just for this episode. And I'm like, dude, I'll probably go back and play this. I don't know. I could see myself firing this up every few months just because I could beat it in half an hour or so now. It's a neat little game. So anyway, I will warn you, we are going to spoil the end of Jaws 4, The Revenge, because I guess that's the one this is based on. I know it's a random spoiler, but that I don't understand how that makes any sense, why the Jaws video game wouldn't be based on the first Jaws movie, but rather the fourth one that a tiny sliver of the audience saw. But maybe when they went to get the rights to the game, maybe the rights holders for Jaws were like, well, if you want Jaws 1, it's going to cost you like $7 million or something. But if you want Jaws 4, just go and get us some bagels. And you can have it. Maybe that, I don't know. Maybe that's why they did it. So, and I want to be clear, I'm not going to be the one to spoil Jaws 4 because I have not seen it. But my guest this week is one of the hosts of the Dissect That Film podcast. My buddy Dan returns to the show, and he is the sack of spoiler on this episode. I think we go through every nook and cranny of Jaws on the NES. No conch shells left unturned, because if we didn't, this episode would have been about 10 minutes long. So we're going to get deep into the Jaws video game. I enjoyed this laugh of a stupid movie NES game, and I hope you do as well. And we'll get into all that in just a few minutes, because speaking of stupid, it's time for another edition of the Remember the Game infamous intro. Dun, 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 dun. If you're new to the show, welcome aboard. Consider this your warning. Our intros are a little bit long. They're not that long. They're about half an hour, but they're fun. We talk video games and stuff. They're a good time. And I am proud to say it has been 272 episodes since our last infamous intro, Shark Attack. That was a dark day, my friends. Now, if you want to skip it, if you just want Jaws talk, I can't believe I'm saying those words, go to about the 30-minute mark, okay? And then you should be into that. Or look into our old Patreon. I got to get my plug-in. It's how I keep the bills on around here. It's the lifeblood of our show. We publish 4 additional shows every week. They don't have any ads in them. And we publish every Remember the Game up there with timestamps with no ads. 355 Remember the Games waiting for you over there. Timestamps, no ads. You can go right to game chats. Go to play one, remake one, erase ones, whatever the fuck you want. And then in addition to that and the 4 additional shows we publish every week, you can also write into the podcast, get read on the show, vote on the games we cover, join our 1,000+ member Discord. You get instant access to the entire archive bonus podcast library, hundreds upon hundreds of shows. And most importantly, you get a shout out and get to hear me mispronounce your name like I might do to one of these people. I think I'm going to get the rest. But a huge thank you to our newest Patreons, Kyle McLaughlin. Is it McLaughlin? McLaughlin? I'm going to go Laughlin because that's how it's spelled. Kyle McLaughlin, RRKST9, Stray Pancake, Most Balone, Alex R, and Mega Man's E-Tank Dealer. Where the fuck were you in Mega Man 1? Also, shout out to Stray Pancake. I like that handle because that sounds like a sad cartoon of just like one pancake that got separated from this order and he's just walking around trying to survive in this fucking cruel, cruel world. Thank you all so much for your support and welcome to Remember the Game Industries. Our subscriptions start at $3 a month over at patreon.com/Remember the Game. There's also some free episodes over there you can try out if you want to see how it works. And if you sign up for a full year, we'll give you the 12th month on the house. Cha-cha. That's enough blowing myself. Let's blow some of you by blowing in some cartridges. It is our opening segment here on the show. I read a few comments and questions from our Patreons, usually gaming related, but not always. And we call this segment Blowing in the Cartridge. Oh, sorry, before we blow in the cartridge, just a quick heads up. I have been trying to get a little bit more active over on the old Twitch. Twitch.tv/Remember the Game. I'm kind of back into it a little bit right now. So you can throw me a follow over there. It's free. And then it'll tell you when I'm online and you can come by and argue with me about why Captain Picard is better than Captain Kirk. You're out of your minds. Anyways, let's blow.
He blows all right. He blows big time.
That's it, honey. Get into the spirit.
Let's blow. Our first blower this week is the real G-Man Dan, who wrote in and said, "Hi, Adam. I hope you and your family are well. Doing good. Sorry." What is that from? I feel like that's a reference I missed. They're doing okay. I wouldn't say they're well or good, but we're okay. I recently fired up Kingdom Hearts 3 in an attempt to get through my backlog while waiting for Black Friday, and holy hell, there is so much going on. With the story, background, gear, characters, not to mention what is actually happening on screen, it's a bit overwhelming, and it got me wondering, how many times have you bought a game with the intentions of playing it, but very quickly realized that there was way too much meat on the bone? Please give the CEO some belly scratches for me. Will do. G-Man Dan. She likes the chin scratches. She's such a peculiar dog. Molly was all about the belly scratches. Millie likes the chin scratches. And we can't get her to walk. It's driving me crazy. 3 months I've been trying to get that dog to go for walks. And she just sits down and is like, carry me. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I know that's not what you asked about. And for the record, we are going to talk a little bit about Kingdom Hearts in this infamous intro, which is a bit of a hot topic around here, but we'll get to that in a minute. The 2 games that jumped out to me when you asked me if I'd ever bought a game with the intention of playing it and then realized there was way too much meat on the bone. Number 1 was Baldur's Gate 3. I downloaded the demo off PSN to try it because everyone was like, this is the greatest game in the history of games. And I played like the first part, the intro, where you're in like the I don't know, it's like a dungeon or, I don't know, like fires. I don't know, whatever the fuck. And I saw the brilliance. I was like, this is an incredible game. There's no fucking way I'm getting through this. There is no, it's too big. There's too much going on. I hate managing giant parties. It's not going to happen. Or like, I know what you're right, trying to convince me it's not giant parties. I'm saying I have no interest in managing like all the deep characters and everything. I see the brilliance, but there's way too much meat on that. I'm a vegetarian. I can't, when it comes to Baldur's Gate 3, that one's too big for me. And then the other one is one that I know many people have asked for Remember the Game about, and I want to just address it and apologize. Suikoden. I know a lot of you love Suikoden, particularly Suikoden 2. I don't know how you pronounce it. I did buy that one off the PSN and tried playing it to get ready for an episode. And that's one where I'm like, I hate managing giant parties and I hate building like cities and all that. Too much. I see why it shines, But I'm like, any review I do for this is just going to make people angry. So Baldur's Gate 3 and Suikoden 2 are two that jump out to me as just too much meat on the bone. So I feel y'all on that one. Real G-Man Dan. Joseph Grammer said, hey, Adam, long-time listener, first-time blower. If you could pick your favorite game that you've gotten to experience from doing Remember the Game over the years, what would it be? Also, please do an episode on Kingdom Hearts. I'm interested to know what you would think of it. I'll address the second one in a second. I thought about that. My favorite game that I've gotten to experience because of Remember the Game over the years would either be Final Fantasy Tactics, which I know some will be like, you manage a big party in that. I know, but that one just clicks for me. I don't know why. Final Fantasy Tactics or XCOM 2, which again, you manage a big party in that. I know. Maybe I just like tactical games. I think that's what it is. Those are probably the two. And if I had to pick one, it would probably be XCOM 2. XCOM 2, dude, the next time I do an updated list of my favorite 100 games of all time, XCOM 2 is, I don't know how high it's going to get on that list, but whoo-hoo. That game is something. I love that fucking game. I would say those are probably the two that I've discovered that I like the most since I started doing Remember the Game. There's lots of other ones, like Shadow of the Colossus is there. The Portal games are there. Advance Wars is there. GTA 5 was pretty good. But I'd probably go with XCOM 2 and Final Fantasy Tactics as the big two. Now, as far as Kingdom Hearts goes, Tins wrote in and said, hey, Adam, just a reminder that in August of 2023, you said never say never when it comes to playing Kingdom Hearts. Well, has it been never yet? Just hear me out. It's time to get off your high horse and play one of the gaming goats. Play the 1.5 remake, analog camera control and skippable cutscenes. You've reviewed worse Disney games, and you've reviewed much longer and worse JRPGs. It's shorter and less intimidating than you might think, and just stop there. Don't worry about deep diving into the story, because even as a lifelong fan, I've come to realize so much of it is a load of crap. Please, Mr. Blake, I implore you to give it a shot. Then there's no need to hear from us again about it. That's not true, Tins. And I know we've addressed Kingdom Hearts on the show 100 times, but there's always new listeners coming into the I was gonna call the cult. I don't know what the fuck you would call this community. New hot dogs hopping on the grill, and I don't mind re-answering the same question every few months to make sure anyone that's new knows where I stand on it. Kingdom Hearts is probably the number one game I get write-ins about people asking me to cover on the show. And the simple fact is, I've said never say never. Maybe when I say never, it's just because I don't want you to be upset. But like, it's practically never. I'm sorry to all of you that like Kingdom Hearts. I'm not a huge fan of JRPGs or RPGs as a whole. I'm not a big fan of Disney. I find a lot of the characters annoying. And based on my reviews of games like Sonic Adventure 2, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, Alien Isolation, popular games that I just didn't like, the simple fact is I have no interest in rolling the dice on a game that has a rabid fan base. And then if I don't like it, I just have to hear about it. You have no idea. I get messages from people telling me to kill myself. I have messages telling me that my family sucks. Like it's fucking, I get bad reviews, which aren't good for the show just because I don't like a game people like. And I'm fairly confident I'm not going to like Kingdom Hearts. And so maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not interested, and I don't want to deal with the backlash of the fan base if I don't like it, because the internet has proven that there are a bunch of immature cunts who can't handle somebody's opinion being different than theirs. So for those of you that love Kingdom Hearts, that's where I am on it. It's just not something I want to do. So I'm sure it'll come up again in 6 months. We'll do this dance again, but I wanted to readdress it and let everybody know where we are. Home Bed Now said, hey, Adam, do you ever mess around with one of those retro gaming sticks? I'm not sure what that is, but no, I don't, because I don't know what it is. I'll say no. My retro games, I either buy physical copies now. I've been slowly accumulating physical copies again for my collection. I play a ton of retro games through like modern re-releases, like Switch Online, PS Plus, game compilations, stuff like that. And then I have hacked my NES, SNES, PS1, and Genesis minis, and they're full of tons of ROMs. I have an Xbox here full of a ton of ROMs from a listener. I have a Retro Noid, I think it's called. It's not within hand reach. It's charging across the room here. That's got a lot of ROMs on it. I get most of my fix from there. So no, other than that, I'm like, I have so many, I must have thousands and thousands of games at my fingertips now. So that's pretty much where I get my retro gaming fix these days. JB Sharps says, hey, Blake, do you think by and large we become too reliant on other people's opinions when it comes to trying out new games? I know Pokemon Legends Z to A is kind of getting shit on, but I'm about 5 hours in and I'm loving it so far. Granted, I loved what they did with Arceus, but maybe I'm in the minority. Are we too reliant? I think some people, are too reliant on other people's opinions when it comes to trying out new games. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing your homework and reading reviews or watching gameplay of someone else playing a game on Twitch. And then if they like it, maybe you give it a chance. And if they don't like it, then you're like, eh. But I do think you need to take everyone else's opinions with a grain of salt and form your own opinions, right? Like it's a better position to be in now to be able to do your homework on a game before you plunk the money down, as opposed to when, I was a kid and a game like Jaws, we rented it over and over again, not knowing what it was. And we'll continue playing it forever just because. And we'll keep playing it because it was just a game we rented for the weekend. Ghostbusters is another one. And now if I could look up a review of Ghostbusters, I would have been like, this sucks. I don't want to fucking rent this game. This game's a piece of shit. So I do think there's something to be said for having the ability to look up reviews and look up other people's opinions. But I think you need to read their opinions. And then, like, if someone's, for example, if you were to read a review of me of Metal Gear Solid 3, I would review it and be like, it's too stealthy for me. I find it boring. I don't like the controls. I don't like all the cutscenes. Like, I don't like that game. But if you read that and you're like, I don't know, man, that story sounds interesting and I like stealth gameplay, then you if all you do is skip to my score and say I give the game like a 6 out of 10. I don't remember what I gave Metal Gear Solid 3, but let's just say I give it like a 6 out of 10 because I don't like that game. If all you do is look at the score, then you're like, oh, that game must suck. I'm not going to play it. But if you read the review or watch a review and see that like, oh, I think stealth gameplay sounds awesome. I think that sounds like an interesting story. Then fucking roll the dice and try it for yourself. So there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of homework, but at the end of the day, dude, if something sounds interesting and you've got the extra cash or it's available sale somewhere, whatever, give it a shot. Try demos. Watch some gameplay online. People say Final Fantasy VIII sucks, and I think that game's fucking awesome. So I don't know. Haters gonna hate. So anyway, because I have seen a lot of people dunking on Pokemon Legends Z through A, but every time I bring that up, a couple people write into the show defending it. So you're not alone, JB Sharps. You may be in the minority, but you're not alone. Ren 10 the Savage said, hey, Adam, I love the podcast, and they've gotten me through my warehouse work. Thanks, buddy. I wanted to ask, what are the must-plays on the NES and SNES? I asked because of all the great titles I hear on the show. Celeste got me back into gaming, and I'm ready for recommendations. So I wasn't sure how to answer this because, like, that's a loaded fucking question. I could do fucking hours on that. So all I did was, off the top of my head, pick 5 games that I consider to be must-plays on each of those systems. For the NES, if I had to pick 5 games, I would go Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, Punch-Out, Contra or Super C, whichever you prefer, and Castlevania. Those are my 5 NES must-plays. And before you write in and say, why is there no Mega Man in there? I love Mega Man, but he's tough. And I know it's not for everybody. And then for the Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country 2, and then your choice of RPG, but I'm going to go with Final Fantasy 3/6, but 3 on the Super Nintendo. But you could put in like Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 2, Mario RPG. There's lots. I went with Final Fantasy 3. So good luck, Ren 10 the Savage. You are in for some treats if you've got a bunch of NES and Super Nintendo games to play for the first time. My God. Brandon Swinson said, hey, Andy, how we doing? How long has it been since someone's called you Andy? I have people that call me Andy. I don't think they know my real name. For those that don't know, someone wrote a review of the show once and called me Andy, and it just kind of stuck. Quick question for you. Do you enjoy playing episodic story games? I just finished playing through Dispatch, a Telltale-like game, and holy shit, was it captivating. Some of the best storytelling this year. That game pulls at your heartstrings in so many ways. It also proves that superhero fatigue isn't real. We're just lacking a good superhero story. I highly suggest that you and anyone else check it out if you enjoy those types of games. If you only care to see one ending, it'll only take you about 10 hours. Dispatch has come up a lot because I know people are really hot and horny for that game, which is good. It sounds like it's a great game, and that's all, fuck yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the episodic story games. I'm trying to think. I played the first 2 episodes. Sorry, hang on. Sorry, my bad. I don't know if that played or if you guys heard that or if that got cut out. You probably heard it. God damn it. That wasn't supposed to happen. Damn you, concentration. My bad. Where were we here? Yeah, I played the first 2 episodes of The Walking Dead, and I thought it was kind of neat, but the story was kind of interesting, but I just don't find those types of games fun. I know that it's all about telling the story, but they're just, I don't know, not really. Heavy Rain is the only one. Like I tried Until Dawn, which I know is a little bit different, but I tried Until Dawn. I tried, was it Batman on Telltale? I think. Oh, there was a Batman one. The only two kind of episodic, like story games I could think of, like walking simulators, if you want to call it that, was Gone Home was good. And then, yeah, those first, and then Heavy Rain, which I know is a little bit different. And then, yeah, the first 2 episodes of Walking Dead. But I'm kind of leaning away from Dispatch. I appreciate all the suggestions. It's just, yeah, those games, I don't know. It's the same as like I never watch TV or movies. I get bored. I don't know. I have attention span of a fucking butterfly. The Big Apple said, what is a feature that you would like to see added to a gaming console that doesn't exist yet? You know what? I like this question because I saw a tweet the other day and I wish I had saved the tweet. But whoever wrote it, if they happen to listen to this, great job. It was like gaming consoles should have an adult feature now. And what it is when you turn on a game that you haven't played in a while, the console is like, hey, welcome back. It's been a while. Do you need a refresh on what's going on in the story? Or maybe what missions you're working on? Do you want to hop into a quick tutorial to learn the controls again? That way you don't have to start the game over from scratch. And I was like, I don't know how a game would ever just do that, but what a great fucking idea. I thought that was a phenomenal idea. If I could add one thing to a gaming console, that would be it. That 100%, that would be it. Because then I wouldn't have to keep starting Cyberpunk over every year and a half. And finally, it's letter time. Evan Azzo said, Adam, I got a problem. I consider myself to be a pretty seasoned gamer. I've jumped into many different IPs over the years. One missing from my repertoire is Mass Effect. I got some time on my hands, and I've been trying to dig into the first one, and I'm just having a hell of a time staying engaged, and I'm finding it a slog to figure out where I got to go. Does it get better? Will I eventually just get the hang of it? Any tips for me? I really want to complete this narrative journey, but it is not making it easy for me. I get asked this quite often because of the glazing, ball-washing reviews that I have given the Mass Effect series on this show over the years. But I kind of agree with you, Evan. It's funny because people are always like, dude, you've reviewed Mass Effect 2 and 3. Why haven't you reviewed Mass Effect 1? And part of it's because I played Mass Effect 1 back in the day. And I love the story of it, but I was like, I don't want to play it again. Like, Mass Effect 1 is kind of a slog. And I hate the fucking driving around the planet looking for fucking resources and shit like that. I think Mass Effect 2 is god tier. And 3 is very, 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 very good tier. And Mass Effect 1 is like good. It's very good. It's better than a lot of games, but it is slow. I do promise. And it's hard for me to like blanket recommend it to people. Even though I do think that trilogy is spectacular because Mass Effect 1 is such a slow burn. And it's also hard for me to go to somebody when I'm not willing to dedicate, say, 10 hours to Dispatch because I'm like, it's 10 hours. And I'm not interested. How on earth do I go to someone and be like, dude, just plow through like 40 hours of Mass Effect 1 and then shit hits the fan. It gets incredible. So I don't know. I guess, the tip would be, I'm presuming at this point, most people that are trying to get into Mass Effect for the first time have picked up the Legacy Collection or whatever it's called. The one with Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 in it. If that is the case and you're really finding 1 to be a slow burn, then, well, it's probably not the most optimal thing. Instead of sinking 40 hours into a game that you're just not enjoying that much, if you're really interested in seeing how it all plays out, read a breakdown and a full plot summary of Mass Effect 1 and then hop into Mass Effect 2. Because I think Mass Effect 2 is easily the best of the trilogy and an exponentially superior game. And if you read what happened in 1, then you won't be too lost in 2. The only reason to play through 1 is that a lot of the decisions you make in 1 come back to play in 2 and 3, and your decisions can carry over. So if you just read a plot summary and then hop into Mass Effect 2, then you're just going to have to kind of pick some choices of what happened in 1 instead of actually playing through it and getting attached to characters that come back through Mass Effect 2 and 3. There's a return in early parts of Mass Effect 2 of a character from Mass Effect 1 that I get so fucking excited for. Like, it's like the coolest thing. And if you never played 1, you wouldn't be as attached to that character to see them in 2. But 1 is the slog of the trilogy, in my opinion. So that would be what I recommend. I just, skip it if you want to skip it, but just know that like the Mass Effect trilogy is just so spectacular. My God. Anyway, that is going to do it for the blowing in the cartridge this week. Thank you, everybody that wrote into the show. As always, we need to keep this train rolling, so let's switch things up. We'll play that fucking music again and get into our Smash Hit segment, the official game show of Remember the Game Industries. Play 1, remake 1, erase 1. And a huge thank you to Classic Concentration from the NES for unknowingly providing us with the theme music for the show, but a huge fuck you to Classic Concentration from the NES for unknowingly playing your theme song when you weren't supposed to. And I know some will say it's your fault, Adam. Not now. I don't remember who hosted Classic Concentration back in the day, but I blame them. Anyways, play one, remake one, erase one. The rules are simple. Every week I give our listeners 3 retro video games. They can play one as it was released, remake one as a modern game, and the third is erased from time forever. As always, there are no wrong answers, but there is a right one. We'll get there in a minute. This week, since we're talking Jaws on the NES, I went with 3 additional NES games based on movies. We have Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and Nightmare on Elm Street. And this might have been the closest P1, R1, E1 we have ever done. All 6 combinations got 12 to 20% of the votes, and the winner was a tie. 20% of you said you'd play Nightmare on Elm Street, remake Back to the Future, and erase Ghostbusters, and 20% said you'd play Nightmare on Elm Street, remake Ghostbusters, and erase Back to the Future. So let's see what a few of you had to say here, and then I will tell you what the right answer was. Glass Joe's 1 win said gross. Play Nightmare on Elm Street because I haven't, and it seems like most people think it's okay. Remake Ghostbusters to play like the Sega Genesis version. I gotta do the Genesis version on the show soon. I got to. And then erase Back to the Future because I went back to 1989, flew to Japan, met Hiroshi Yamauchi, and convinced him that if he put a Nintendo seal of approval on this game, it would bankrupt Nintendo forever. He played the game and was convinced I was right after he saw how shitty it was and ran a manure truck into the LJN factory, smearing poop all over the games, ensuring they never saw the light of day. Is that what you would do if you had a time machine, Glass Joe's 1 win? You wouldn't go back and win another fight? You would just go back to fucking Nintendo and warn them to look out for how bad Back to the Future is? I can respect that. There are some who call me Tim. Said I ended up with remaking Nightmare on Elm Street simply because I'm confident Back to the Future and Ghostbusters would have gotten their due in the way they have, with or without existing on the NES. So I'd like to give Elm Street the modern-day horror game treatment. There can be some really trippy moments and fun game mechanics. Arkham Asylum Scarecrow suddenly comes to mind. Then play Ghostbusters because at least it has this song, and erase Back to the Future because what the hell was that? I've not played Nightmare on Elm Street, but Back to the Future is the worst of these 3. I agree with that, I think. Eddie D19 said, play Nightmare. The game is a nightmare. It's in the title, so no false advertisement. It's true. Remake Back to the Future because you can go back in time and make a better game, and then erase Ghostbusters. It won't really disappear. It'll come back as a ghost to haunt us, and then you'll have a good reason to call Dr. Venkman. That is sound fucking logic. If we get rid of Ghostbusters, it'll come back as a ghost. That is as sound of logic as I've ever heard on this segment. Well done. My Lufa is a Fupa said I would play Back to the Future because it's the most fun out of the 3 and I was getting Paperboy vibes, and who doesn't love Paperboy? I would remake Nightmare on Elm Street because who would want to punch a snake in 4K, and I would erase Ghostbusters because that game is just plain horrible. I'm a little bit hurt that you would compare Back to the Future to Paperboy. I get the comparison, but I'm a little bit rattled by that, I'll be honest. That said, I've only played Back to the Future a dozen times. I should give it another chance, maybe. Game Genie US said the only one I've played is Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's blah. I'd play Ghostbusters because I liked your review of it. I would remake Nightmare on Elm Street because it's my favorite horror franchise ever. Can you imagine a Resident Evil Biohazard first-person shooter style of this where you keep wondering about your sanity like in Eternal Darkness and keep escaping Freddy, finally defeating him in the end, and then the twist is he's still alive, you're still in the dream, and he's been messing with you the entire time? And the old man said that it would happen? I added that. Shout out to who gets that reference. And I'd erase Back to the Future because I've seen gameplay and it's a dry, white dig turd. I'm assuming that's dog turd, but perhaps dig. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going with 20% of you. One of the 2 options that tied for the lead. The same order that Cornpocalypse did. Robert Englund will always be considered Freddy in my heart. The NES game is actually really good for something published by LJN, so play it for its genuine scares and great graphics. Remake the god-awful Back to the Future game for the NES. It has almost nothing to do with the movie. The music is butchered and the gameplay is a travesty. I can see why Bob Gale was so pissed off. I have no idea who Rob Englund or Bob Gale are. But, okay. And then erase Ghostbusters. Go play the computer ports, or even better, go play the European version of Ghostbusters 2, which lets you play as Winston. There's no reason for this game to exist. I have way different reasoning, because I don't even know who some of the people you mentioned are, but same order. I'm going to play Nightmare on Elm Street, because it's the one of these 3 I've never played. And I usually like to play games that I haven't played before. And then I was very torn on the remake because I love Ghostbusters, but I also love Back to the Future. And so I've decided I'm going to remake Back to the Future because I love that movie and I want a good Back to the Future game. And I don't want to play the Telltale one. I want to play like a good action platforming Back to the Future game. And then I'm going to erase Ghostbusters because we've got the one they made in the 2000s with the original cast. Once you've got that, plus the Genesis one, the fuck do I need with that crappy NES game? Oh, that game churns my ass. Churns my ass? Burns my ass. Don't churn my ass. That doesn't sound as pleasant. Anyway, thank you everybody that wrote in to play along as always. What have I been playing? And then we're getting into Jaws. Mostly modern stuff. I finished God of War 2. We're going to review that next week. Great game. So now I'm playing Batman Arkham City to get ready for an RTG in December. Dude, I haven't played that since it came out. Boy, that one holds up. Like God of War 2 is very good. I'm going to give it a very good review. Batman Arkham City, I'll hear an argument that's like a top 20, 30 game of all time. Boy, that's a fucking game. And then for modern stuff I'm still playing Hollow Knight Silksong. I think I'm around 60 hours now, still chipping away at Silksong. I'm really, really getting into Ghost of Yotei now, finally. It's really, really good. Really liking that. I tried Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Black Ops 6 was like my first Call of Duty, and it was fun for a while, and then I got bored. So I tried Black Ops 7. I know it's like a popular thing to do to hate on COD, but like I just am not feeling Black Ops 7 at all. And a lot of people have been telling me just pick up Arc Raiders. I don't really like to play online shooters. I just played COD because it was on Game Pass. So I think I'm just going to go back to my single player bubble. My multiplayer game is Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which I'm also playing a little bit of. And then I'm still playing Ball Pit as well because it's a great fucking game. Playing lots and lots. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, it's Jaws talk. Jaws. That's what you're here for, okay? So remember, the game will return after these messages.
The challenge is ice hockey. The power is Nintendo. It's as slick as ice, as fast as fury. Throw in your shoulder, dig in your blade, blast it in, or be blown away. Ice hockey only from Nintendo. Play RC Pro-Am. Play with power. Pull up to the start. Taste the challenge. The power of radio control. If you can't take it, you'll eat dust. Radio Control Pro-Am only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I love the fall, except for the fact that the sun starts getting lazy. Up here in Edmonton, it's dark for like 14 hours a day now, and honestly, it can be kind of depressing. It's important to remember that just because the sky is dark, it doesn't mean life has to be. If you can't go outside, then spend your time with people you care about. Send someone a text, go out for a coffee. Reconnecting with people can be so good for your mental health, and you'll probably say, I should have done that sooner. People say the same thing when they try therapy. BetterHelp makes therapy as convenient as possible. They have over 30,000 licensed therapists on their roster that can meet you over video, phone, or even just chat when and how it works best for you. Fill out a quick questionnaire to let them know what's on your mind, and they do a great job of pairing you with a therapist suited to your needs. And if by chance it's not a fit, you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. They've helped over 5 million people around the world take the therapy plunge. Why not give it a shot? This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/RememberTheGame. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/RememberTheGame. We now return to Remember the Game. Let's talk about some Jaws, everybody. That's why you're here. As always, I like to let you nerds sound off on the game we're covering before my guests and I hog the microphone. Let's rip through some of these comments here, shall we? I'm Cole Trickle. Said, did this company somehow have a loophole where they got sweet IP but weren't actually good at making games? Maybe I'm just misremembering the logo. No, that's LJN, and they made a lot. I mean, I have a sweet spot for some LJN games. But LJN made some bad fucking games, and they did get a lot of big IPs, and it felt like that's why they didn't have to make big games, because they were like, we've got the IPs, the games don't have to be good. You know, the people will buy it for what's on the cover. That's what I fucking did. So, Mopey36 said, there's something charming about these horrible licensed NES games. I agree with that as well. Like Ghostbusters, Jaws, I literally, a couple weeks ago was at a retro game shop here in Edmonton, and I bought a copy of Back to the Future for the NES, even though I know it sucks, because there is something, it's just like, it takes you back to being a kid, and like remembering that era of renting or buying these fucking shitty licensed games just because of the IP on the front, and it's, yeah, there is something charming. It's like a stinky charm, but a charm nonetheless. George RMN said, I got this game for Christmas back in 87. 7-year-old me couldn't figure out what to do to beat the torpedo stage after defeating Jaws underwater. When I finally hit Jaws with the boat, I didn't expect anything to happen. The strike and the noise the game made were so sudden, I jumped and dropped my controller. Upon seeing Jaws sink to the bottom of the ocean, all I could think of was That's it. And it is very anticlimactic. Like when you finally beat the game, they're just like, oh, you did it. It's not as bad as Ghostbusters and Scream, but it's not good. It is weak. I agree. George Swan said, I gotta admit, Jaws on the NES was never exactly a great game, but man, I loved it. Back in the day, I didn't care about reviews or depth. I just knew it had sharks, boats, and a sense of adventure. Watching that little blip move across the map and suddenly getting attacked by Jaws was genuinely exciting as a kid. Even today, it's one of those weirdly comforting games to revisit. It's clunky, repetitive, and makes no sense half the time, but it takes me right back to sitting on the floor in front of the TV, trying to take Jaws down with those mini sub torpedoes. It's a guilty pleasure classic, and I'll always have a soft spot for it. As will I, as you're about to hear. If I hadn't rented this one as a kid, I probably would have played it and been like, this sucks. But nostalgia, as I say all the time, is a hell of a drug. So is meth, not even once. But boy, it's crazy. And Christopher Lee Williams said, I've always been a big fan of sharks since I was a kid, and the Jaws films had a lot to do with that. Jaws the Revenge was the first movie I got to see in theaters, and since that is what this game is loosely based on, I was dying to play it back in the day. Almost nothing in this game makes sense, and it feels more like you play the part of an aquatic murderer that Jaws has to protect the ocean from. That being said, it plays well and it's beatable in about 15 minutes if you know what you're doing. These days, I play Jaws every once in a while as one of my comfort food games that takes me back to my childhood without getting too stressful. I wouldn't call this an essential game or a must-play for the NES, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Well said. I mean, I wasn't obsessed with Jaws as a kid. I never saw them, but I agree with the sentiment about a comfort food game. And now that it's in my collection, I will beat this. I'll probably play it on stream. I should play it on stream. Once this episode goes live, the next time I stream, I'll try to sneak in a game of Jaws just so everybody can see what this is all about and wonder why we're so obsessed with it. But those of us that grew up, we fucking know. And grew up with it, I should say. Some of us, like me, still haven't grown up. Anyways, let's talk Jaws. That's why you're here. I'm going to cue up some more of that super chill, super cool Jaws NES music. And when it stops, my boy Dan and I are talking Jaws, which were originally released in North America on the NES back in November of 1987. We are old. Enjoy the podcast, everybody. Let's go. All right, joining me on a snowy here. I don't imagine it's snowy in your neck of the woods, but snowy Saturday up here in Edmonton to talk Jaws. We're talking a game based on a movie, so I figured I'd get a guest favorite from a podcast based on movies. Returning to the show is Dan from Dissect That Film. Dan, how are you? First of all.
Oh, dude, I'm great. Just
good.
Hanging out. God, fucking bitches slaying pussy.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I do know. Yes,
We both know that. Wink.
I assume it's not snowing down there.
No, we're
No.
gonna be about 72. What is that?
Fucking yes.
What is that? Like 20 something Celsius? Upper
Probably,
20s,
yeah. I don't know.
mid-20s, something like.
It's below zero here, so we're losing.
No.
Yeah.
I sympathize, dude. I hate the cold, so I sympathize.
I get it. And we're talking Jaws. Now, I'm sure I said it during the infamous intro. This won our short game poll, so I don't know what to expect as far as the length of this episode. I'm going to get into my history with it, but I want to know, like, you're a movie guy. Did you play this growing up? Like, did you play a lot of games based on movies because you like movies?
Well, so here's the funny thing is I've said this before on our show, and we'll talk about that at the end. I am not inherently a movie guy. Like I was like brought in, like I watched movies. I had my stints of watching films, but I was brought in as like from a friend and just became more of a movie person.
Right.
And actually I recorded a podcast yesterday where I very clearly said, I'm a horrible movie reviewer. This is what I've got to say about this. But anyway,
nice.
It's, like I said, we just talk. We're just talking about movies. But anyway,
Sure.
Just if it was really anything that caught my eye, like I didn't, at that time, there wasn't the whole trope that I was aware of movie games are bad.
Yeah.
But like you just like if it looked cool, you just played it, right?
Yeah, you're how old are you? Like we're about the same age.
39.
Yeah, I'm 41. Like we're in that age group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you younger listeners, you just don't know. Like when we were growing up with the NES and then the Super Nintendo and Genesis as well, but particularly the NES, every popular movie IP got a game and 9 out of 10 were garbage. But we didn't know. We didn't have the internet to look up reviews. You went by the box art. And when you went to the store, the video store, to rent a movie or a game for the weekend, and you saw Ghostbusters, or you saw Back to the Future, or you saw Jaws, or you saw insert shitty game movie game here, you were just like, holy fuck, a game based on like my favorite. And you imagine you bring the game home and it's gonna be like playing the movie, you know, and like
Yeah.
and then you get it like, and I'll be honest, I only saw the first Jaws like 6 months ago. I've never seen any other Jaws movies, but I knew of Jaws. Everybody knows the like the song and
Yeah.
Jaws and the
Yeah.
big shark. And my brother and I used to rent this game so much as kids, despite not knowing the source material, because sharks are cool. Everybody thinks sharks are cool.
Absolutely.
And we brought it home and we would play it and we would play it and we would play it. And we had no idea what the fuck we were doing. And we were never able to beat it. And we still thought it was like the coolest game in the world. And now I would have bought myself a physical copy with the intention of getting ready for this episode. I beat it in like one day. It took 2 tries. And I was just like, this used to be our weekend, was this game. We would play this game for hours and hours. And this game, why was like my kingdom for more good NES movie video games? Why are they all so bad? I don't understand it.
I think it's like you've talked about before on here. It's just what you, again, for younger listeners, we didn't have to worry about the deluge of reviews or review bombing that a game's bad and nobody should play it, even though it's probably a competent game, but everybody shits on it because it's not the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of games that were very serviceable when we were younger. This, this being one of them, not to show my hand here. Another movie-based franchise that I think is a serviceable or borderline good game that I'm biased is the Godzilla video game on the Nintendo. Great fucking game. Played the shit out of it. That's another game like this. I used to rent Jaws too. I didn't watch Jaws when I was a kid. I was scared of everything. I did watch Shark Week on Discovery Channel. I don't know if you guys had Shark Week on.
We do have Shark Week. It's like a national holiday up here. It's a big deal.
Absolutely. It's fucking great. But that's why I like sharks. So I played this game because it has a shark in it, knowing of Jaws, but not the movies.
Right. Yeah. The only thing I can think of for why there's so many bad movie video games was that they were just like under a crunch to make, because like I don't want to. This is not a history lesson podcast. You all know that. But my from the way I understand it, during the NES heyday, companies could make like 5 NES games, and then that was it for the year. So that's why companies were founding other companies to make more games, and it was just the NES was like, I mean, it's peanuts compared to the way games sell today, but the NES was fucking big back in the 80s and the early 90s. And so everybody wanted to put everything they could on it. So if you could get your hands on a popular IP, it was like, how fast can you make a Jaws game? And they're like, you have 6 days. You know what I mean? Like that's what it felt. Pretty much. And then they've had to find a way to pad it. And I was playing this game, and like, have you ever played Ghostbusters on the NES?
Yes.
Okay. I know it sucks, but it's one of my all-time favorite guilty pleasure games.
I get it.
But it sucks. Like the whole game is just driving around New York, saving up money to buy better equipment to try to climb those stairs. Right? Like that's the whole game, and it's garbage. This one, and I'm realizing now that more of these games are like this. This one is not. I don't think this one is as bad as Ghostbusters, but this is basically the same premise. You just go back and forth between 2 spots in this ocean or whatever the fuck, this bay, collecting, instead of saving up money, you're just saving up seashells to upgrade your equipment for one stupid boss fight. And then rinse and repeat. Like this game is more shallow than the water in the shallow areas of this game. Like which
is a death trap. Don't go there.
Oh, buddy. So, okay. So if you've never played this game, if I miss anything, Dan, please tell me. You can sum this game up in, I think I can do it in 1 minute. Okay. So I'm at 6:14 on my timer now. Okay. So basically you're on a boat. You go from one dock to another dock, back to the first dock, back to the second dock. That's all you fucking do. And you get random encounters like an RPG where you get put into these things where the game goes into like a side scrolling thing. And you control a scuba diver underwater, shooting at sea life, trying to collect seashells that you then cash into the 2 docks to upgrade your shoot power. And eventually Jaws shows up, and if he hits your boat or you run into him, then you shoot him, and his health meter's there too. And once you drain his health meter, you get 3 chances to stab him with your boat. And if you stab him, the game is over and you win.
That's true.
That's like, it's like, and the thing is I think I was playing it. I'm like, that's all there is to this game. We'll get into more of the details of it, but that's really all there is to this game. But then I thought to myself, how would you have made a better Jaws game? And I was like, I don't know.
On the NES specifically.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was like, unless you want to make like an original story where you play as like a fish trying to get away from Jaws or something. Well, I don't know what else you do.
Did you had like Apple II computers and stuff when you were in school, right?
Yeah, like with number munchers and things.
Yeah. Did you have
Yeah,
the fish game where you were a little fish, you ate bigger fish to get bigger and bigger and bigger?
I don't think so.
Okay, well that was on the Apple. There's Jaws right there. You just as baby Jaws and you eat other fish until you get.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
saying it's
that
a
would have.
good idea, but it could have worked.
Yeah, it would have worked. Like I, I'm not mad that the game is so short. I just, it's a callback to that era where it's like, can you imagine if this had been your birthday present and then you beat it in a day and then you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
That's
probably
it.
wouldn't have back then, but I would have been mad
I
because I
do.
remember renting it and never beating it.
Same here. We would rent it and play it because, like, when you don't have the internet to look up what to do, I mean, it's pretty obvious the first time you run into Jaws, the object of like he's got his big health meter there at the bottom of the screen, and anyone that's ever played a video game, like, I got to tell you, just sidebar, I have such a soft spot for that particular style of health bar, that
Yeah.
kind of peach
The-
colored block,
Yep.
and you just wear them down.
Do you know who made this game?
LJN.
Well, you know what's funny about that? I was watching another YouTuber and I learned something. His name's called it's Big Old Words on YouTube. He's not a huge channel, but he does NES stuff. He's in the Southeast like I am, and of the United States. And LJN did not make most of their games.
Oh, they just the publisher? Like,
They subcontracted them out.
yeah,
This
yeah.
was actually a joint thing between LJN and Atlas. And
Oh.
I know I'm breaking the rules. I know you don't do a history pod, but this
That's
is just what
okay.
I do.
That's
I
okay.
can't help myself.
There's not a lot else to talk about with this game, so fucking go to town.
Fair. We got a movie, but there ain't a lot to talk about there either. So Atlas subcontracted it to a company called Westone, which used to be called Escape, and they're known for the Wonder Boy franchise.
Oh, I like those games. I've only played
Yeah.
one, but the one I played is actually pretty good. Yeah.
Wonder Boy Monster World on the Genesis.
I think that's the one I played. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they did like all the original Wonder Boy games.
Yeah, they're good.
And Jaws. It was Wonder Boy, Jaws, and then like the rest of their catalog. It was so
Oh.
weird.
Like-
But I just thought that was random.
Yeah, that is. It's just it just felt like people passing this bag of shit around. Like, I don't want to. I'm not making this game. You fucking make it.
What?
You make it.
Oh,
Now-
it's like Aliens Colonial Marines. Where Gearbox subcontracted out, it's the same thing. Like Atlas, like I don't want to fucking make Jaws, you make it.
Yeah, just
okay.
pass the buck. Now, I wanted to ask you before we get into the nitty gritty of this game. You mentioned the movie. Like, the only Jaws I've seen is the first one, which I got to tell
Yes.
you, spectacular.
Yeah.
I get why this Jaws thing might have a future. Great fucking movie.
Hooper drives the boat, Chief. Yeah.
Yes, but that's the only one that I've seen so far, and I've been warned by many people it's all downhill from here after the first
Fair.
one. Which movie is this one based on? And is
This is
it even remotely close to the movie? Oh,
I know. No, I'm laughing because it surprisingly is. This is based on Jaws 4: The Revenge, which I watched leading up to this because I'd seen it before. We covered it on our show a million years ago.
Okay.
But it's surprisingly close to what the movie is. You literally, the movie in a nutshell is, do you remember the wife from the first movie? Roy Schreider's the main character, the chief, his wife
Yes.
in that. Well, she's still alive.
Okay.
She's the main character in that one. And essentially the shark is still hunting them for X, Y, and Z reason, whatever. It doesn't make sense. It's just a slasher movie at this point.
Sure.
So it's all boils down to, they're of course based normally off the coast of New York and stuff is where those movies take place. This takes place in the Caribbean. Great whites don't live in the Caribbean. It follows her down there, tries to kill the rest of her family, and her son collects conch shells, which are the shells you collect in this.
Oh, so
research.
that really is part of the movie is collecting shells.
Yes, 100%. And
Okay.
then they try to get Jaws because like there's a shark in the Caribbean. Why is this here? Blah blah blah. And there's a dude that pilots a plane. His name's Hoagie. I don't know why he's named after a sandwich.
Okay.
But he's played by Michael Caine, who you'd probably know as Robin in like the Batman Begins. Not Robin,
That's
Alfred
the
in
butler.
Batman
Alfred.
Begins.
Yeah.
He's the butler.
Yeah.
So he's in the best actor in the fucking movie by a landslide. And he only did the job because he used it to buy his mom a new house.
Oh, that's nice.
But
So
he
then-
missed that. But that's it. Like he's like it's essentially like a very compressed version of the film. And the shark dies the same way. Spoiler in the movie as he does the game. You use the little things, the things to zap it and make it jump out of the water, and you stab it with the boat.
Okay, so wait. So literally, excuse me. So literally, like the three core fundamentals of the video game are collecting shells, flying this plane across the water to bomb jellyfish, and
Yep.
stabbing Jaws with the I don't know what that thing is called, the spike at the front of the boat.
Yeah, I don't know why
Uh
Michael Caine is bombing jellyfish. I don't understand that.
yeah, but like those three aspects of this game are all in the movie, at least to some extent.
Not the jellyfish bombing, but there is a
But the
plane.
plane though, but the plane is.
Yes, a million
Fuck
percent.
yeah. All right.
It's
Well, you
like
know
they
what?
actually watched the movie. These people watched the movie and then made a compressed version of it as a game.
You just bought this game an extra point. Whatever I give it as a score, I just gave it an extra point because they managed to. Okay, fair enough. They
Listen,
fucking,
I would subtract a point, half a point, because at the end of this, when you stab the shark, it doesn't explode.
Oh, okay.
It blows up in the movie for no reason.
It
You
blows
get
up
stabbed by
'cause
the
they
boat
stabbed
and
it.
fucking explodes.
All right. Well, I'll give them credit then. At least they did.
Yeah,
They
it's
did a
still
little
cool.
bit.
It's still
Because
cool.
like I hate to keep comparing it to Ghostbusters, but that's just my go-to bad movie NES game.
It's
Uh,
reasonable.
I was like, I don't even think they did watch the movie because they fucking like the fact that the Ghostbusters are wearing like green military suits with hats, it drives me crazy. And I'm like, that's not what the Ghostbusters should. At least get their outfits right. It bothers me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, Jaws, you fucking did your homework. I'll give them that.
Kudos.
So I will say that like I actually find so like the game is basically split into like outside of the very end when you fight Jaws, the game is basically split into driving your boat around this canal or bay or whatever the fuck it is. Swimming underwater, fighting the sea life, or else bombing jellyfish. And I will say that like the just driving back and forth in the bay, my only major criticism of that is that outside of going, there's literally two docks. You go from one dock to the second dock, back to the first dock, back to the second dock. That's literally all you do. And then in between, you collect seashells that you can expend to upgrade your power. And then you can technically go find the submarine, which is just which is pretty bad. Is the submarine in the movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking A. Good for them. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
know, right? So weird.
So that part, because we'll get into the we'll break it down by section here. The part where you're driving just from one dock to the other dock to the other dock, like it looks nice. I like the music that's playing. I like that you can see Jaws's fin like when he's around or when he's near you and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. My
You get the
only
tracker.
yeah, the tracker, which I did you like I found that tracker. I hate that fucking thing. Because the first time you go to the dock, you don't get to level up your power. You have to get this stupid tracker that then beats when Jaws is closer. And I'll ask you, like, I never once paid attention to it. Once I was powerful, I just kept going back and forth until I ran into Jaws and then finally beat him. Like I never
Yeah.
was like, okay, it's time to go find Jaws. Where's my tracker?
I never actively avoided him. Like he was just like, all right, like oh, there he is. Like there's the Jaws. Let's go get him. Or if I was too low, I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time because I won't even do enough damage.
Yeah. Yeah. When you run into him and you're low, then you just avoid him and collect shells and just ignore him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my only major criticism outside of the there's a lot of random encounters, which I
Yes.
guess is the whole point of the game is keep going underwater to get shells. Is it would have been nice if there was like 3 or 4 docks instead of just back and forth between the two. Like, dude, the bottom 50% of the map or the overworld or whatever the fuck, like you never even have to go down there.
No.
Like there's no because the submarine is always up at the top, and then you just go back and forth between these two docks. So like that's my only criticism of that area. I get there wasn't a lot else they could have done with it, but I would have preferred it if there had been 3 or 4 docks, or even if there had just been one, and you had to do like a full loop around the map to get back to the one or something.
Yeah. Actually, it'll be cool. I just thought of this. It just hit me. What if like you have your 2 docks or whatever, but then there's like a hidden third dock, kind of like those extra islands in level 3 of Mario World, Super
Yeah.
Mario Brothers 3, and like you
Sure.
go there and you get like a radio, and like whenever you fight Jaws, like the plane that drops bombs flies back and forth, just dropping bombs randomly. Whenever
Yeah.
you're fighting Jaws to do extra damage. That'd be cool.
Yeah, 100%. Just something because like it just felt very very plain, like the world.
Yeah.
Like I get that like, it's not the deepest game in the world, but it was just very plain.
I
That
agree.
fucking overworld. And then where the game shines, in my opinion, is that underwater side scrolling thing. Cause you like as soon as you either hit like a random encounter or Jaws hits you, and
Yep.
then it cuts to this side view and you're a scuba diver, your boat disappears and suddenly you're just scuba diving. And then it's just kind of like a static screen. You can swim up and down if you're in the deep water. Dude, if you're in that shallow water, you've got like
Oof.
a third of the screen to work with, and it's fucking hard. Like that's where I
Yeah.
kept dying, was in that fucking shallow water.
Yeah, you want the deep water. Do not encounter Jaws in shallow water.
No,
It's
it
much more
sucks.
difficult.
And then all it is jellyfish come up from the bottom of the screen, and then like manta rays and
Yep.
little sharks come in from the sides, and you just have like an endless wave of harpoons or whatever, spears, I guess, spear guns, and it just becomes kind of like a shoot 'em up. And I will say that, like, as you go through the game and get more powerful, they send more enemies at you. Those jellyfish are cheap as fuck.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, you can't go to the bottom, and that's so when you kill sea life, sometimes they drop the other things that I think are just for points,
Yep.
like the crabs and the stars. Who cares?
Correct. Yep.
But the shells are what you use as like currency to level up your power. But when you kill an enemy, the shell slowly sinks to the bottom of the water. And dude, I don't know about you, but like many a time I went down to the bottom of the water to get my shell, and then a fucking jellyfish would show up at the bottom of the screen and kill me.
Yep. The worst is when, like you said, you get later on, you start getting more jellyfish, and the jellyfish start swimming at angles.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. If you're believe me, if you're playing this game, the big shark, the little sharks always drop seashells, guaranteed.
Yeah,
But they take
yeah.
quite a few hits. But if your shell drops, just leave it. Just let it go. Don't
Yeah.
go for it. There's plenty more.
It's the classic Star Wars. It's a trap. Like if you go to the bottom to get the
Mhm.
shell, you are going to. It's fucking. And like it's fun. Like it actually plays surprisingly decent. I like the way it handles. I like the way it looks. Like I quite enjoy those areas.
Yeah.
My only criticism of those areas, outside of like you said, it gets cheaper. The jellyfish start going at angles. As you power up, it's like leveling up in the game. It takes fewer shots to kill enemies. More importantly, whenever you run into Jaws, he's swimming back and forth in the screen, and he's just a big fat shark. And the higher your power, the more damage you take off him.
Yep.
But now I lost my train. As you power up, dude, did you ever run into one of the ones where like all it sends at you is baby sharks?
Yes, it's just a deluge of them, or
And
just manta rays, just
yeah,
like streams of them.
and the rays and the jellyfish are kind of annoying, but you get one of those ones where it's all sharks. As long as it's not if you're in the shallow water, it gets tricky. But if you're in the
Yep.
deep water and it's all sharks and you don't have to worry about the jellyfish, dude, you just feast. You can rack up like 30 shells in there.
Yeah, yeah, those are
And
the good ones.
and it's actually fun. Like I could see that becoming like, it almost felt a little bit like like a Galaga or something. Like it just becomes like a
Yeah.
score shooter, and it's actually the funnest part of the game, in my opinion.
No, I
Um,
agree. I think I mean, like you said, the game is surprisingly competently built. I think the one that I got the most seashells from was usually when it's just rays. Like if it's just like there's nothing but rays, and it's just like they send like 3 or 4 of them out at the time. Like
because you
I
can
would
kill
just
him in
get,
like a shot or two.
yeah, like they go a lot faster than the other sharks. Because like the sharks are fine, the little ones, that's another good way. But if they're not bunched together, you have to shoot each individual one like what 6, 7 times,
Yeah.
8 times, so however many shots it takes. A one that really sucked is I got in the shallow and I got nothing but jellyfish and baby sharks.
Ugh.
I'm like,
And,
good
like,
God.
And if you've not played it, you're in the shallow water, so you've only got about a third of the screen to move around in. And the jellyfish come up from the bottom, and especially if you've leveled up a few times, they don't just go at the beginning of the game. They go in a straight vertical line. It's not that big a deal, but once they start going at angles and shit, it's fucking wonky. And then these sharks are just flying in left and right, and you have no room to fucking maneuver. And then you're not even worried about collecting shells. It's just a matter of survival.
Yeah,
Like,
because
it's
it's
just
not worth it. Yeah, if you
no.
can survive it, you can get more shells elsewhere. Don't let it pressure you into. Because
Yeah,
Jaws is easy enough to avoid. Like if you, I mean, he'll sneak up on you sometimes. You ever had like the fin just weep and like instantly hit you?
Yeah.
Just comes out of nowhere.
yeah.
But even him, he's not that hard to avoid.
No, he's really not. And I think you earn extra lives as you collect your score, as your score goes up. I don't know what's
Yeah, I think
like.
so.
Yeah, it doesn't do that thing where it makes like the noise when you get an extra life, but I assume you are getting them.
Well,
Every
yeah, because
time
I
you,
died a few times and I kept I would go down to 2 and then I'd like come back with 4 lives. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
and it's one hit kills you unless you're in the submarine. If you're in the submarine, then you get an extra hit. But once you die, all that happens is you lose like 1 power and you lose your fucking shark radar, and then it's such
Yep.
a pain in the ass because then you have to fucking go back to a dock, get your fucking shark radar that you don't even want to go power up again. And that's literally like 3/4 of the game. So
Yeah.
we still have to talk about the Jaws fight, killing Jaws. We still talk about the bonus levels. Let's I have no idea how much longer this is gonna go. It's a short game episode. So
Yeah.
let's do the break now, because I have to have it in with at least 15% of the episode left. and then or else my sponsors get mad. And then
Do
when we
it.
get back, we'll feast on the gooey insides of Jaws. Okay, so
No.
remember the game will return after these messages.
Nintendo Power 12 times a year. 6 great issues plus 6 free strategy guides on a hot new game. That's twice the power for still $15. Wow, call now.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Okay, so one thing that kind of irritates me about this game is the bonus levels because they just happen too often, and I found them very boring.
I wish you could skip them at one point. Like,
Me
I don't
too.
want to do this anymore.
Me too. Like, I get that because you don't even get. Oh, well, you do get shells out of them. I guess the higher your score, the more shells you get.
Yep.
But if you've not played it, they just happen at random times after you because when you're in the water from the side scrolling perspective, there is no all you do is basically hold on, and then eventually it stops sending enemies, and it just kind of there is no timer. You just kind of get out. It's
Yeah.
safe. And then about half the time it fucking sends you into this fucking bonus level. And then all it is Michael Caine apparently in a plane flying back and forth at the top of the screen, bombing jellyfish.
He just really hates those jellyfish.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, I hate them too. And it is nice to be able to kill the jellyfish, but it's so fucking, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me that wouldn't have been way more fun if you could just control your plane left and right. Instead of it goes across the top of the screen, and it feels like you spend about half of your time in the bonus level waiting for your plane to come back into the screen.
Yeah, and all you can do is control how fast it goes left, with that one direction.
Yeah, and then
it loops back around.
Yeah, and then you can drop 3 bombs at a time, trying to hit the most. I love that. Apparently, jellyfish. I don't know if humans knew this, but jellyfish are phenomenal synchronized swimmers.
They are, yes. If you watch
It's,
SpongeBob, you'd know.
Olympic level. It's fucking crazy. Are they? Do they do that in SpongeBob?
There's the one episode where he has a radio up and a bunch of moving. Some of our viewers will get it. They'll hear.
Oh
the
yeah,
song.
I'm sure
they
they.
hear me talking about it right now.
I hear about it all the time. The SpongeBobites in this community.
Yeah.
But those
That's
bonus
me, I'm
levels, it's just so 5 jellyfish come in at a time and swim in this little synchronized and dude, 1 out of 3 times you barely even have a chance to hit them because your plane is already past them when they come into the screen, and then by the time your plane comes back and you might have one attack, one chance to drop 3 bombs on them, and then you're gone again.
What's the most you got? Do you remember?
I don't know. I had a couple of pretty good runs. There's a couple where if you get the right swimming pattern of the jellyfish lined up with the right timing of the passing of your planes, you can feast on those fish. But
I just knock the whole thing out, like that wave. Just needs to kill them all.
Yeah, and it does. I'm a big Galaga fan. It does feel pretty good when you go on a run where you get a ton of them.
I think there's 21 or 22 or something like that, depending on. Or 25 maybe. I don't know. I think the best I got was 17.
Yeah, I had a couple of pretty good runs. And then after you're done them, it just gives you your score, and then you get a certain extra amount of shells based on your score. But I do agree with you. Especially, dude, once you're up to level, because I think your power can go up to level 9.
Yes, 9 is as high as it goes.
Yeah, and every time you go from one dock to another dock, you either don't have enough shells or it'll be you upgraded your power, and it gradually costs more to upgrade your power. It starts at 5 shells and then 7 and 9, whatever the fuck. I don't know about you do, but by the end of the game, when I finally beat the game, I was level 7 or 8 for power. I had 80 shells. I had way more than I needed. So then when that bonus level loaded up, I agree with you. I'm like, fuck me, just let me skip the fucking bonus level. I don't need anymore.
I just literally, I got to the point where I just let it go, and I just picked my phone up and did stuff till it got done.
Yeah, because it's not even particularly fun.
I mean, it's okay when you need shells, extra shells. But then, you said at the end of the game, you don't need the shells.
No.
Do you know what happens after you get level 9? Don't you?
Yeah, I looked up that you can buy additional strobes.
Yeah, that's it. It's like 10 a pop,
Yeah,
which
which
is
we'll talk
great if
about.
you want those extra shots, but it's only for that one time. They don't increase your maximum.
No, and we'll talk about the strobe. Like they don't really do a lot. It's just I don't know. It's kind of it's just busy work. It feels like video game busy work. This fucking
It
bonus
does.
level.
It does.
So that's basically the first two parts of the game. I will say, I like it was coming back to me pretty quick when I was playing it from when I was a kid. I'd forgot about the submarine, and
Oh, I
then
did too until I saw it in like the corner of my eye on the map. I was like, "Oh yeah, the sub."
yeah, me too. I was like, because it's so boring just going back and forth between these two docks. So I'm like, I'm getting ready for a review. I think I can spare the 3 minutes to do a full loop of this bay just to see if there's anywhere else I can go. And then I saw this submarine floating up in the northeast corner. I'm like, the fuck is that? And then you go touch it, and then the next time you go into the underwater level, you have a submarine, and all the submarine does is I don't even know if it has any more shooting power, but it moves faster. Like it moves so tight.
Do you know what else it does? I learned my first time playing this
What?
that I think it's B button shoots the rockets or whatever, or the arrows out of it or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the A button shoots cannonballs.
Oh no shit! Like, does it drop them?
Yeah, like they shoot it like an angle. They arc.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow.
I didn't like this playthrough. I learned it because I was like, I was I think I set the controller down to do something, and it came back up, and I grabbed the controller, started fumbling with it, and it shot a cannonball. I was like, I'm not even on the boat. What the hell's going on? And yeah, I didn't
Well,
know.
shit. All right.
It helps with the jellyfish. Like if they're a little bit
Oh,
below
yeah.
you can.
Well, because I was thinking that when I was playing it, I was like, I mean, it is nice that it moves faster and it. I mean, maybe it was just in my head, but it felt like it controlled tighter. Like that
It felt
swimmer,
yeah.
he
does.
kind of glides to a stop, whereas the submarine felt like it just had. I assume that's how actual submarines work. They can stop on a dime. So
Or you implode. It's one
yeah,
of the two.
yeah. Fuck.
That was dark. I'm sorry.
Fucking idiots. But I'm sorry, but it's so dumb. Why? You could not pay me to go on a fucking homemade bathtub boat with a PlayStation controller to the Titanic. Much less fucking pay. Anyway, that's for my inevitable stupid death podcast that I'll do someday.
I made it in my garage.
Yeah. Did you watch that Netflix special about that thing?
I did not. No.
It's fucking wild, man.
Dude,
Like,
listen. Go ahead.
No, it was wild. This fucking guy's a psycho. What were you gonna say?
So our podcast, of course, I'll talk more about it later, but our podcast, the main dude that does it, Parker, fucking loves James Cameron. And I know James Cameron's always out there in submersibles, and it has come up multiple fucking times. Like, why? Like, I get it. Like, if this is what fascinates you, that's great, but just go by yourself.
Yeah,
Like, I just go by your fucking self.
Dude, I was literally saying sorry everybody, it's a sidebar. It's a fucking short game. I was saying on I did a rambling idiot a couple weeks ago where it was like I counted down 10 of the things that are on my bucket list, and I really have this dream of being able to, but before I'm dead, I hope that going into outer space is something that like normal people can afford to. Like, I don't expect to go live on the moon, but just like a day trip up into space and back. Like, I hope that just becomes a thing. Because that's been, ever since I was a little kid, I have dreamed of going into outer space. Like, I would love to go to space. But if you were like, hey, Adam, there's this fucking guy who built a spaceship in a warehouse, and it steers with an Xbox controller, and you could go into space right now, I'd be like, I'm good. Like, I'm that seems very dangerous to me. No,
you go there to check it out and find out it's not an Xbox controller. It's actually a Logitech. You're like, this is so much worse.
Yeah, that's so much worse. Yeah, it's the fucking Mad Catz controller or some shit. So the submarine in this game, it I didn't realize it shoots cannonballs. It also lets you shoot the missiles or whatever. It steers faster and sharper. And if you get hit while you're in it, you just revert back to the swimmer. So like, to me, that's the biggest advantage to it of all, is that you get an extra hit.
Yep.
Which is nice. And then once you lose it, it takes a couple of tries, and then you can find it again.
Yep.
It'll be floating around.
Did you mention about sorry. No, you go ahead. I don't know if we've got to this yet.
No, go ahead. What? I'm running out. Like, we have the fight with Jaws now. Like, we're basically up to Jaws.
Are we gonna do the boat poking, or when you're actually fighting Jaws?
Both. Let's start with fighting him.
Yeah, just go. No, you're gonna get there. Go ahead.
Okay, so at any time you can go and fight Jaws. Like, as soon as you see him, he pops up, he attacks your boat, whatever the fuck. You can see his fin, which is cool.
He's Nemesis.
But if you're like, yeah, he is Nemesis. He's the first Nemesis.
Yep.
But if your power is like 0, 1, or 2, unless you've got like a turbo controller where you can just massacre him, you're not. You have to hit him like 20 times to knock his health down 1. And if you don't kill him in one fight and then he swims away, then he regains his health. He gradually regains his health. So that's why you're leveling up your power. It's not to kill the sharks, the jellyfish, and the rays. It's so that when you start getting into it with Jaws, like once you get up to power level like 7, 8, 9, you're taking a bar off his health every like 2, 3, 4 hits, and now he's
dude.
beatable. And I will say, like, it's cool when he hits your boat. Before it drops you into the water as like a scuba diver, you can do the thing where you like lob. It's like they're throwing cannonballs off the back of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, you can move the boat.
Yeah, but like, I don't know about you. Maybe I was just fucking up. It always felt like Jaws was on the opposite side of my boat, whatever side we were throwing the cannonballs out of.
It's B throws it left, A throws it right.
Oh, because every fucking time, because as soon as Jaws touches your boat, which he's going to do in the first pass, then you become your swimmer in the water. And so I knew he was like coming at me, and I'm mashing the button, but we're always throwing cannonballs off whatever side he's not on. And so I'm like, well, fuck me, he's just gonna swim up and fucking kill me again.
Dude, and the baby sharks can pop your boat too.
Okay, and maybe I just didn't notice that because I was always getting killed by Jaws.
Yeah, so like when I've had it where like Jaws is like coming, like, oh shoot, here he comes. Then like a baby shark will like hit it. I'm like, he isn't even here yet. Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, lovely. But you do get iframes though, which is nice.
What's that?
Oh, invulnerability frames. So like you can't get hurt.
Yeah.
So you have like that little bit of invincibility where you can like,
yeah, because
get it like after you get hit.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be fucked. Like as soon as you go to the water, you'd be dead. So once the shark hits your boat, then you become the swimmer or the scuba, the submarine or whatever, and then it just becomes shooting at Jaws. And you either drain all his health, or there is no official timer, but like the invisible timer expires, and then you're back up in your boat. Any health he took off Jaws is gone, and then it's rinse and repeat, and it slowly replenishes, and you need to find him and do it again. And that's literally. So you go back and forth building up your power, and then your power can take more damage off Jaws' health, and then you just rinse and repeat until you finally drain all of Jaws' health. And it's as exciting as it sounds. And then once you drain his health, then I remember when we were kids, we would get to this screen, and then I could not figure out how to beat this fucking final fight with him. It cuts to this like kind of cool angle where you're like looking out the front of the boat, and you see Jaws' fin in the background or in the distance, and then it's slowly coming at you. And like, were you able to beat this as a kid? Like, I could not figure out how fuck to, like, because it makes sense. It says you have 3 strobes, and so you hit the button, and then a strobe goes off, and then Jaws will pop up out of the water, and then you can make your boat like stab him. But he needs to be in such a specific spot to stab him. And you get 3 tries, and if you miss your 3 strobes, then his health fills up again, and you go right back to just driving around trying to find him so you can drain his health and get another shot. I was playing it, and the first time I got to that scene where you get a chance to stab him with the boat, I missed him 3 times, because of course you do. And then it goes right back to like full health, start again. And I was like, nah, suck my dick, I'll come back. And I fucking turned it off. So fuck you.
Speaking of that, so when I replayed this when I was a kid, I never even got to that part of the game. Like, I didn't understand, like, when I was little, to go to dock to dock to dock to dock. I thought it was just like you go get the tracker, then you find Jaws. And he just had an ungodly amount of health, and it just took forever. It was nigh impossible. I didn't understand you could actually power up.
Right. I don't remember if I did or not, but yeah.
Yeah. And I beat this at one point, like, many years ago, like, after being a kid, like, in my adult life. And then, like, I got to play it today, and I learned something else. When he's coming at the boat, and you're setting the charges, I didn't realize, like, I thought like you had to use them all or he'll like wreck your boat. He doesn't. He just bounces back off of you, goes all the way back to the distance, and starts coming back at you.
Yeah. So like,
you just like rubber bands.
It's so once you get to this once you drain all his health and you get to the final fight with him where he's coming at you, you need to stab him. The pattern. I assume there is some method to there is probably a memorizable pattern to like the path he takes to your boat. I never did memorize that pattern.
No.
But like, it actually, for the NES in particular, it really does look pretty cool. Like the water is split into like vertical rows, and each row he's in, he's coming closer to you, and he's kind of think like the Plinko game where like he's randomly going left and right, and you need him to be directly right in front of your boat to hit the strobe light for him to jump out of the water to stab him. If you hit it anywhere else, he'll jump out of the water, but you can't move your boat to the left or right to stab him. He needs to be right in front of you. But you're right. And I didn't realize that at first either. But then eventually, if you don't hit the stroke, because you think you need to hit it every time he comes to the front or he's going to damage you.
Yep.
And then finally you realize like, oh no, you can let him fucking swim up to your boat for 2 days. As long as you don't push his strobe, he won't touch you. He just goes back to the distance and try again. Which, like, I guess isn't a bad thing because it'd be more frustrating if you only had 3 tries and never got one to get him. But it's just it just seems so stupid. You spend all this time getting there, and then you're just like, just wait, just pick your. We got all day. We got all fucking day, you stupid fish. Like, eventually you'll be in the right spot.
Come on, Jaws, you're locked in here with me.
Yeah, it's insanity. And then, like you said, if you level your power up past level 9, then when you're going back and forth to docks, you get more strobes. So you can fucking go to that fight with like, I don't know what the max. I never did level up the number of strobes I had.
I only got it one time and realized that it didn't keep, and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, but you don't. There is no urgency. Once you're into that thing, you're like, just wait, just fucking wait. He'll come back sometime. That part where you stab him, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I did finally have to look up because I did try to stab him and couldn't get him. That was when it went back to where I found out that like if you miss him 3 times, then you go back to full health. You have to do it all again. And I was like, no, I'm fucking done with this. Fuck this. Because it's a grind to get there. So then I finally had to look up like, how the fuck do you stab him? And not only do you need to hit the strobe when he's in the closest row to you, you need to hit it when he's right dead center to your boat. And then when he jumps up out of the water, you can't just hit stab. You have to wait till like the fleshy white part of his belly is looking at you. And then you can
somehow that
him.
Matters.
Yeah. Yeah. If you stab him in the side, he's fine. He's wearing armor, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
But like, and once you know how to do it, it's incredibly simple, but it's just classic NES game. They're like, well, if we make it too easy, then you'll fucking beat it in 10 minutes. So we need to make it so players get to this fight, finally realize what they have to do, realize where he needs to be when they hit their strobe so he'll jump up so they can stab him. And then we're not going to tell them that you also not only have to hit the strobe at the right moment, but then you also have to wait for him to be turned with his stomach to you to stab him. Because if we tell you anything else, you'll beat the game too quickly and then want a refund.
Yep.
So we need to drag it out longer. Fuck. So dumb.
Yeah, it's
and then you
style at the time.
And then you stab him once, and then that's just the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they get that
goes,
horrible. Yeah, and they get this horrible the end screen, and that's it. Fuck.
Yeah, he just like this lifeless turd of a body just sinks to the bottom. Like poor Bruce.
Is it now? I'll ask you. I'm sorry to those of you that still want to see Jaws 4. I don't know if I'll ever get around to watching it, so I don't mind if you spoil it. Is that how it ends? Like, do they use a strobe light and he jumps up and they stab him with the boat?
Yeah, like all of that, like the trackers in the movie and everything. The bloop, 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 it's all there. So they use the strobe and they go bloop, and he jumps out of the water and roars for some reason. I'm
like
why
a
the fuck's
lion?
the shark? Yeah, like just fucking roars.
All
I'm
right,
like, all right,
makes sense.
So and then he roars, and then what Ellen, I think it's her Ellen Brody, like steers the mast and like stabs him, and then he just fucking explodes. And then sinks to the bottom.
I love that he explodes. That's the best.
It's so stupid, dude. It's great. And they end up using part of the shot from the original movie.
Oh, no
they
shit.
blow him up with the air canister.
Fuck.
It's terrible. So dumb, dude. Hey, there is a Jaws 5.
Oh, God.
It's
How?
an
He
unofficial...
blew up in Jaws 4.
He's been dead in all of them.
I know. How does he keep coming back? This fucking
dude, listen.
beast of a shark.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you once we wrap this review up, I'm gonna give you some advice about the movies.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to know this. Well, that's basically the entire game. Like, I think we've covered literally every aspect.
We
of
nailed
the
it.
game.
Yeah. Well, the music's all right. You talked about it. It's got pretty serviceable music.
I will say, I actually thought the graphics in all 3 scenes for an NES game weren't bad.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Like above water, in the water, and then that final fight with Jaws are all good. And I do agree, especially that music when you're in the boat, just going back and forth from pier to pier. I like that music.
It's very chill. Pretty good.
So I thought that was good. I thought the graphics were good. It does control surprisingly decent. Like it's tight. There's a lot of like I never ran into like classic NES, with the flicker, the slowdown and stuff. I never really ran into that in this game. Like it always played well. It's
I
not
know one thing.
What's that?
If I don't know if you had this happen, and for folks that've never played this, if usually, we talked about if Jaws hits your fin, it'll say like, you've hit Jaws or whatever, and you have to fight him.
Yeah.
But if you see Jaws in like an adjacent space to you and you run into something else, Jaws can migrate.
Yeah.
Into your,
That's
which is pretty cool.
It is cool, but that's where you get fucked because you're not going to intentionally hang out in the shallow water, but you have to get into the shallow water sometimes, like to get the sub or to get near one of the piers sometimes. And that's when you get fucked because Jaws is close. You see his fin, and then something else hits you. And then when Jaws comes in and you're in that shallow water, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
Because the water's already only a third of the screen deep when you're in the shallow water, and then Jaws takes up a third of that. So then it becomes tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, very.
Like no passwords, no saves.
No, you just play it.
It's a game. It's so many NES games were built around just grinding. Like now that, dude, like, because I love going back and revisiting NES games and trying new NES games. And especially now that you have the internet and it's easier to figure out, like, so like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing here? You realize how many NES games are just like hella short, very, very shallow, not long. It's just get through them. Like it's once you know what to do, most of them can be beaten in under an hour. Like, but that's why they had to be so cryptic because these games were costing parents like who grew up in the NES era doesn't remember like picking like what Nintendo game you wanted for Christmas and stuff. That was a big fucking decision, man.
Yeah, it was.
You get one that you beat in a day and you're like, I just ruined that my year is done. I was good all year for this. And I beat it in a day. So I don't really have any other thoughts left on the game. I do want to get into quickly. I want to ask your opinion on those movies and to get you a plug. Are we ready to score this thing?
Let's do it.
I think this episode's already longer than the game is, so we did good there.
Yeah.
How many Jaws movies are there? 5?
Well, yeah, that's fine. If you want to do that, I had one, but if you want to, I'm down with that.
Well, I was just.
There's technically
What do you have for a scale?
Okay, so my scale was I'm a biology guy.
Okay.
Like, I did entomology in college, so I love all that stuff. But anyway, Carcharodon carcharius, which is the Latin name for great white, they have about 300 teeth. So out of 300,
300 teeth. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's a conveyor system.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Because technically there's only 4 Jaws movies. The 5th one's an unofficial film, but I'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Let's do. All right. Then how many teeth out of 300 teeth would you give Jaws?
I'd say like 180. That's like better than half.
Yeah, it's a fair.
It's like
score.
a 6.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I was in around there as well. Like it is playable, and like it is.
I
honestly,
like the game.
Yeah, the 20 minutes or so it'll take you to beat it. It is fun.
Yeah,
it's just you'll beat it in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and just the bonus stages suck when you're at the end because you keep getting them. That's
yeah, the bonus stages are the fucking worst. Yeah, I'll give it 200 teeth, and then I'll give it 201 teeth because it gets a bonus tooth for being so loyal to the movie, like I said. So 201 out of 300. It's fine. I will say, like I've been starting to play Back to the Future on the NES. Have you ever played that one?
I never have.
I remember renting that one as a kid and I couldn't figure out what to do. And now I'm trying to play it as an adult. I don't know what the fuck to do. So I was like, it is, I can safely say Jaws is, at least at this point, better than Back to the Future.
I never played Back to the Future, but I'm not a big Back to the Future person, but I know of him, but I've never played him.
Yeah, it's so many bad movies, so many bad movie games, man. Fuck me. Sorry, if I could sidebar one other thing.
Please.
I was talking about this the other day. Like, how have we not gotten, there's all these like modern, like so many classic franchises are getting rebooted. Like they just made that new RoboCop game and stuff like that. Like there's a new Terminator game coming out soon, Terminator 2D, which looks fucking awesome, by the way.
It does. Yeah, it does.
How have we not gotten like a Jaws, like Alien Isolation, like which I don't particularly like, but I get a lot of people do, and I see there's a good game there. How have we not gotten a Jaws game, like a modern Jaws game?
Well, we did get Jaws Unleashed. It was on the PS2 and the Wii. and then
Oh,
they did. I never played it. I know. I don't know nothing about
I'm
it.
sure it's
But then
good.
I'm sure it wasn't. But we also got Maneater, the shark
Oh
game on the
yeah, I
PS4.
guess Maneater is Jaws.
It's our unofficial Jaws game.
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
recommend that one. That was pretty fun.
I'm just surprised that like we've not gotten like a Alien Isolation of Jaws. But you're right, Maneater.
Dude,
Yeah,
that would be sweet though. There's a
yeah,
lot of fan games that do it, but like not an official one.
yeah. Like I don't know if I could play it or not. Like I'm terrified of deep water. A very
Same.
realistic deep water game sounds fucking horrifying. It's like the
Oh
Abyss.
yeah,
I
dude.
always thought the Abyss would make a good video game, but I don't think I could play it because that movie scares the shit out of me. So
Dude, I watched The Abyss. My mom loved that fucking movie. I could not stand that movie growing up. I always remember the fucking water face and they shut the door on it and then aliens.
yeah, it's
And Ed
fucking.
Harris is in like amniotic fluid. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
That's the part that gets me is that fluid part. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Ugh.
It's rough.
Okay, we've scored it. We've talked about this. So I've only seen Jaws 1, Dan. Steer me. What else do I
Okay,
need to see out of these movies?
Okay, here's the thing. You watch Jaws 1, which is great. Fantastic movie, one of the best movies of its type ever made.
Agreed.
Jaws 2, Jaws 2 is a fine movie, but when you watch it, think of the entire movie as a giant misunderstanding.
Okay.
So like the shark's always, of course, killing people and whatnot, but like it's really weird that if you look at it, some of the scenes look like the shark's trying to help people, but it can't because it doesn't have hands, so it uses its mouth and kills people inadvertently.
Okay.
From that perspective, it's fucking hilarious. Jaws 3
All right.
sucks. Jaws 3 is awful. It's got Dennis Quaid in it, and he was on cocaine the entire time he was doing that movie.
Okay.
It's not a good movie. And Jaws 4 is all right.
I kind of want to see
Michael Caine's in it.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Jaws 4 now just because of the video game. Now I kind of want to see it just compared to the game, but
there is also Jaws 5, which is an unofficial Italian sequel. It's called Cruel Jaws, like Jaws 5. And there's a hilarious scene where a little girl is like, she's like paralyzed, and can't walk, and she gets like in her wheelchair or just shoved into the water with the shark. It's fucking ridiculous.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking
terrible.
morbid.
It's terrible, but it's funny as fuck.
Go ahead.
That's it, dude.
Oh,
I recommend give it at least one watch. All in one watch.
I'm still slowly working my way through the Alien franchise, and then I do want to go back and finish all the Jaws movies.
Then you got to go to the Godzilla movies. There's like 38 of them.
Yeah, I've never seen a single Godzilla movie.
You need to, because the NES game is pretty fucking good. It's actually quite good.
All right. I'll throw it in the pile. Throw it in the fucking pile.
I know.
How
I'm
have we
not helping.
like we've had Jason versus Freddy? How have we not got a Jaws Sharknado crossover yet?
I'd watch it.
I
what
would
else
too.
What else big is there? Is there another big franchise that Jaws could not shark? Fuck that movie.
Jaws.
The first two are.
Yeah, what fucking big movie star or what big other IP could Jaws? Because that's the problem. Is Jaws is like, dude, I used to have a joke in my act about how I read, and it's a true story. I read somewhere once that said that like 2% of Americans said that their biggest fear was a shark attack. And I just was like, I tried to write a joke about it, and I was like, I understand being afraid of a shark attack. Like, I would not want to be attacked by a shark. It sounds terrifying. But I was like, they can't get you unless you go into their house. They can't. If you're terrified, like I'm terrified of bees. Bees are everywhere. Bees can get me. Sharks can't get you. Like it's 0% chance. That would be like you're afraid of trains, but trains can't leave those tracks. So as long as you don't go on the track, the train can't get you.
That's true.
It was a stupid joke, but it was just I found it to be such a funny thing.
No, listen, I have a bee thing to tell you after we're done. But do you have any actual shark stories for yourself? Because I have a really stupid one.
No, we don't get a lot of sharks in Edmonton.
I mean, you vacation places. I don't know.
No, well, when we went to California, we were at in San Francisco. We were at there's like a pier market. I remember what it's called, but we were down there, and there was this guy selling shark tooth necklaces, and I was really interested in them because I thought it looked cool. And then I was like, I can't bring myself to decide if this is a real shark tooth or if this is just like a tourist thing, so I didn't get one because it was pretty expensive. But no, that's literally that's all I know of sharks.
So this is my two things. They're both really stupid. My first one is we went to Florida. God, where were we? somewhere in Florida, in the Gulf of Mexico or America, whatever they're calling it these days. But anyway, I convinced my wife that if we were on the pier and I ever seen a shark underneath of it, my goal was to leap over the edge and grab the shark from the top. And as I go get pulled into the depths, I will scream, who's the apex predator now? Where are your thumbs? Because it can't get me. I'm on its back. There's no way. Dumb. Second story is we were in South Carolina at the beach, and the kids were out there playing, and the Atlantic coast is kind of a darker water. It's not clear. And we're just out there like wading out there playing, and I'm just looking out in the distance, and all I see is this fin go up in the distance about like 50 to 100 feet out and go back in. And I'm like, I think I'm going to walk towards the shore now.
Yeah, no shit.
I was like, kids, let's go closer to the shore. I did shit you not. It's a bad shark story, but that's what I saw. And I was like, nope. Could have been a dolphin. I don't know. I wasn't chancing it.
It's like they always say to, like, if you ever get attacked by a shark, punch it in the nose. And I'm just like, who the fuck has the mental whatever. It's just, who has to, if I got attacked by a shark, my first thought would be like, where's its nose? I would just,
most of them,
horrifying.
most of the shark attacks are test bites anyway. They'll like they'll nail you, and then like they'll be gone before you realize what the fuck even happened.
Fuck, creepy bastards.
I know.
All right. Well, we made this into an episode anyway. It was fun.
Hell
I like this. It's, is it my top 20 NES games? No, but it's a guilty pleasure. It's not horrible.
It's a good time. It's a little time sink. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm happy to have it in the old collection. When you're not talking stupid video games with me, you're talking, I don't know if they're all stupid, but movies with other people. Where can people check that out?
I don't think they're all stupid, but we do a film podcast called Dissect That Film. We don't really review movies. We more to talk about them. It's a fancy title, but we're not really that complicated. The hosts are Mr. Parker, who's a huge Jaws fan, like big Jaws fan. Like he literally, on his Schwan sticker, he's got big boat tattooed. So when he goes full mast, it says bigger boat. But he's like hard.
Really? No.
Hey, no, fuck no. But hey, speaking of that, you know what I thought would be a hilarious tattoo to get on your dick is get the Mega Man X health bar.
That is.
So when you're like erect, it's the full bar.
And
they're gonna be like, dude, why is this? And like, if you want more humor like that, that's what you get from me from the show. Because Parker's he's the main dude. He's the ringleader. My wife's the straight person. She keeps us checked out, and I just make inappropriate comments. And if somebody's like, dude, man, this guy really talks about dicks a lot, I'm like, hey, dude, I've had one for 39 years, and I just think they're neat.
They are neat.
So,
anyway. Line. I just think they're neat. Yeah, they are neat.
I wanted to get them in there. Anyway, that's pretty much what we do. We just recorded Jurassic World Rebirth, and I think with November. When is this coming out? When's this dropping?
This Wednesday, so the 19th, I think.
Sometime in this is we're doing like some Thanksgiving-ish stuff, where we're gonna be talking about Thanksgiving, which is like the best Thanksgiving-based slasher movie ever.
Oh, that's a real. Garbage. Oh, I thought that was the name of like the event on your show. That's a real movie, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, dude. It's fucking wonderful. It's about a rubber killer, like rubber turkey that kills people. It's fucking hilarious. It's a garbage movie, but it's so funny.
Oh, it's garbage, you say? I would have never guessed that. Fuck me.
No, come on, by that time. Don't give me that. Hey, I love shitty movies. I can't help it.
I get it. I feel that way about video games, so I understand.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Oh, hey, that was fun, buddy.
Quick shout out for another short game.
Shoot.
I don't add it to your pile. I mentioned it in one of our chats. Dino Wars on the NES.
Yes,
it takes like 30 minutes to an hour to beat. It's one of the games like this. It's like once you know what to do.
Yeah.
You're like a little dude that jumps inside a giant robot dinosaur.
I do like dinosaurs.
Same.
So, all right.
Times. That was it.
Good shit, buddy. Thank you for doing this as always, and we'll do it again soon.
Absolutely.
And that is going to do it for this week's episode. Dan, thank you so much for giving me a call and talking some Jaws and for watching the movie and doing the research that I probably should have done as the host of the show. And to every single one of you nerds listening to this, whether it's your first Remember the Game, your 350th, some number in between, whatever, thank you. I know there's a lot of retro gaming shows, and every week, so many of you keep coming back to ours. And I don't know if that makes you awesome or sick in the head. But I think some people that are sick in the head are kind of awesome. So I like you. So thank you so much for doing it. I appreciate it. If you like the show and you want to support us one last time, patreon.com/rememberthegame. Our subscriptions start at $3 a month. Not only are there 355 episodes, maybe more if you're listening to this later, of Remember the Game over there with timestamps and no ads in them. But we've also got new shows every single day, Monday through Friday. There's my Rambling podcast where I talk about whatever I want. My Simpsons podcast, Purple Monkey Dishwasher with Mark McHugh. Expansion Pass, we do a different topic every week. This Thursday on Expansion Pass, we're going to talk about the games we most wish we had time to go back and play again. Because everyone's got a backlog, and I'm sure everyone's backlog has a few big games that they've loved that they just would love to have time to sit down and play, but when are you going to play it again? So that's what we're going to talk about there. And every Tuesday, we talk about all the biggest news in the world of video games on Game Patch. It's a good time. Keeps our bills on around here. I appreciate it. Plus, you can DM with me and all the other good stuff that goes along with that. Leave us a good review. If you didn't hate it, I'd really appreciate that. I'm not sure what they accomplished, but I enjoy reading them. So please leave us a good review. We're on Reddit. You can find our subreddit at Remember the Game, even though half the posts are just people asking about games they've never played and they don't know what the show is. It's still neat that we have one. And I'm on Twitch whenever I have time, twitch.tv/rememberthegame. And you can find a bunch of my Let's Plays and some of my streams at youtube.com/rememberthegame as well. Links are all in the description of this episode. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to thank some Patreons and leave. Thank you all so much for listening, and come back next week. Remember the Game 356. It is time to talk God of War 2 for the PlayStation 2. It's going to be a banger. We're going to spoil it, but I feel like I'm the last one on the planet to fucking play that game. It's awesome. All right, so we'll be back next week. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm going to talk to you later. Cheers, so long, goodbye. Remember the Game is brought to you by our Patreons. I couldn't puke up all the content I churn out of a week without all of your support. The following people are the senior executive vice president level or higher at patreon.com/rememberthegame, and as such, I'm contractually obligated to thank them all as quickly as I can. So in reverse alphabetical order of your email addresses, a huge thank you to Remember the Game Hall of Famer, Slick Motherfucking Rick, Matt Zeus, Zach Shepard, Zane Donovan, the okayest of muffins, Mizuru, Mopey36, Carl, not Garl, Kia Pup, Dar Skywalter, Earl, Wolfgang Darren, Dean Donian, Works for Me, Rush's Dog Walker, Ryan Whitcomb, Tyler Patchell, Lord Longrod, Von Hugendom II, Wolf Magic 21, Penguin Milk, Because 19, I Am the Very Model of a Modern Major General, Conebread, Mr. Jabroni, Travis Sanders, Quiet Place Queen, Fuzzy 99, Beers of War, Doogie, Timothy Sabrinsky, Botfucker, Thomas Smith, Tadpole, Mike Maloney, T-Bear 87, Scary Terry, Captain Black Silver, Ted Explosion, Spooky Dookie, Fondulme. Oh, I get it, like the soup. Squint, Sour Goat Face, Scotty J, Sits with a Beard, Jimothy, Shoeboxers, DBXJ, The Only Sean, Super Saiyan, Safarioth, Timmy the Exuberant Turtle, Erotic Onion Ring, Steve Dalp, Captain Asperry Juice, Scott Brooks, Blaine the Hoagie Man, Storm Beagle, Sam Carpenter, Mercury 869, Squeak Nuts, Ryan 4664, Daisy Wraith, Madam Nutsitch, Wyatt the Surgeon Who's Not a Surgeon Rowe, Monstrosity Boner, Northern Brian Richmond, Handsome Major Angus McZongo Esquire, Big Daddy Randall, Siegfried, Horror Wars Podcast, Ratty Barrage, Hits Meals, Pumpkin Spice Latte, Profound, Cannon Fodder Games, Ryan Perry, Lord Palmerston, Frosty Bear, Wilco, Donnie the Dude, Walter, Just James, Musty Beetle, Maverick, Redline Arrow Jones, JSK Fusick, Morgan, Bitch Ass Brian, McCracken, Beef Dingleberry, Ocarina of Tim Rocks, Just Car Pranks, Lord Salazar, Bob Zacamano, Alex McIntyre, Angry Ticks, Mikey Hag, Leroy Westrich, The $100 Kid, Ted Michaels, Lucas Shaman, Mark Sneed, Gabe, Lindsay Lee, Aaron Lawson, Game Boy Gannon, Landon Turquoise, Postman, Ryan Kinchin, Marcus Mendoza, Kevin Monroe, My Left Nut, JR Bob Dobbs, Jort King Keegs, Sleeper Hit, Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, Jinxie 425, Justin Tate, Justin Blair, Too Much Karma, No One Cares, Steaming Wooly, Stud Still Smash, Jeff Bergeron, Zombie Exy, King Tiki, Jordan, Chugger 22, Jonathan Breyer, Oroku Saki's Gardner, Johnny from Virginia, Laces Out Damn, Beaver Boy, Jeff Leopard, Jay Callahan, The Big Deal, Jay Nasty 15, George Swan, Thrill Ho, Jake Carter, Can't Destroy Her, John of the Adult Children Podcast, Max Lagroom, Sharonic, It's That Nerd James, James Juan Francesco, Bartman Forever, Isaias, Phil Lencher, Amanda Hug and Kiss, Liquor Like Luigi, Trooper Galactus, Holmes, Faded Suffragettes, You Son of a Bitch, Why? Tell Me Why? Diablo Spartan, Maverick Marty, Fancy Starbot Dirt, G9 PSX, Graham Kennedy, Generic Name 238, VOS Rager, Little Bunny Fufu 89, Growly Wogs, Frank Preves, Leroy Jenkins. Shut Up, Big the Cat, E-Man Trucker, please refrain from tasting the knob, Flater Flav, Eric Hopewell, Ida Yellow, Brother Retro, MacGyver 88, Joe the Sandman, Scotty McGee, David Schroeder, easy for me to say. Doug Dorn, Devin Collins, The Supreme, Chozorizo, Decoy Man, Davis Feith, Thunderleap, Dark Squall, Darbles, Archangel Otaku, Fallen Snow Kiku, Cesar, Robbie Air, Juris Dr. Mario, Chris Nethercutt, Spider Cat, Jugs of Bed, okay, Christopher Britt, Christian Gabriel, Makeshift Malo Magic Money, Topher Love, 333, The Grim Patron, Chris Hill isn't scared, that could be anyone's ass, Chaz Hammond, Athena, Erotic Chaotic, Chris Fleury, Bubba, Adam Blank still hasn't reviewed Mario Galaxy, Moncal, Cody Thompson, Bula, Roger Staubach's Pool Cleaner, Elijah Burns, High Plains Drifter, Daniel Cook, General Fury, Matt Babinu, B Money, Blue Shell Discharge, Nordak, Dissect That Dan, Hago Waffle, Legendberry, Eldest Millennial, Brandon DeZeba, Zamatos, Andrew Wright, Pee Wee Squitters, Dude Where's My Game, Toby OP, Dave Thompson, Andy Hudson, Alex R, Infinity Rage, A-Town, Akira's Network, a dude named Adam, Boil It Hot, Texas style, Coda Blaze, Texas, Adam Martinette, Just a Fish, AB Killin, Raph is my favorite turtle, not Donnie, Doug Doogie Bowser MD, and Tyler. I'd give that round of shout-outs an 8. It was pretty good. Couple of trip-ups there, but not bad. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thank you for your support on your patronage, as the kids say. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Goodbye. See ya. Cheers. So long. Whatever. Bye.